Good morning. Good morning, Alice.
Good morning.
My name is Allison Richards, and I go by Allie, even though I look like Jan Brady. Marsha, that's all I hear all day long. Here's why I go by Allie. When I met my husband, Steve, 26 years ago in the mid-90s, showing my age, he had a 3.5-year-old son, Adam, who could not pronounce his L's. So he would say, Owieson. And I said, you can just call me Owie. He would say, Owie, look at the ambulance. It was very cute. But let's back up and discuss where these adventures began. Senior year of high school, applying for college, all I wanted to do is go far away from my parents, as they would allow me to. My dad said, you're not getting in anywhere. You should go start applying for all the local community colleges. My heart was broken. I just wanted to go away. Had my heart set on just getting out and having my own life to grow and learn. A few weeks later, what came in the mail? Snail mail, right? Was my acceptance letter to the school of my choice. And it was 7 hours away from where I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was getting to play field hockey, Division III. I was ecstatic. I was off to Virginia to begin my new life. After graduation, I was ready to go to Florida and work for Disney. Who doesn't want to work for Disney? Right? It's so cool. Best company ever, I thought. I even did my senior thesis on Disney. So I packed up my car and I drove to Florida. I worked at Epcot in the American Adventure. We all know the American Adventure is a big colonial dress. It's about 5 pounds at least. And look like your grandmother's curtains, right? I really wish I had a picture of that handy, but we didn't have phones then, right? So I couldn't dig up a picture to show. But it was a lot of fun. Then I moved over to the parking lot. You know, that's right, folks. End of the row, end of the row, end of the row. That's what Disney didn't want. So you wore that yellow and white striped outfit, you could lay down and be speed bumps. We did that. That was fun. Interesting fact for you all. Do you know why there's not a parking lot called Mickey?
Why?
Because everyone would want to park there. No one would go to Goofy. No one would go to Minnie. Right? So anyone that knows that worked in the service industry, you worked nights, right? So afterwards, you went out to the bars, right? That's where you met people. That's where I met Steve, at Hub's Pub. Does anyone remember Hub's Pub?
Drink the wall.
That's it. Carson knows. You could drink all the different beers on the wall and get your name on a plaque on the wall. They closed before I ever got my plaque. So more adventures begin with my husband. We got certified in scuba diving immediately, traveled anywhere we wanted to go. The Keys every other week, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, it was a blast. Then the family conversation started. We found out we were pregnant. So we're at the doctor, right, having the first ultrasound, and the nurse goes, oops. We look at her, we're like, oops. She said, let me get the doctor. She comes in, or he comes in, excuse me, and he says, there's 2 heartbeats. You're having twins.
Oops.
Oops.
Oh.
Boy and a girl. So cool. So Holly and Brady were born in 2007, and now the adventures change. Going from 2 to 4 people in 10 months. Took them on their first ski trip at 3 years old to Utah. We were already skiing, so. Holly skied with the instructor, loved it. My son didn't. He said, Mommy, the boots were too squeaky and noisy. So he didn't ski. He did ski the next year, and now they ski with us, which is really fun. Amazing. And now a more recent adventure. Last year, during COVID, we still traveled of what we could, right? So June of 2020, we took a trip to Tennessee, the Great Smoky Mountains in North Carolina, to hike, zip line, whitewater raft, and just have a good time. And visit wineries. What a cool area. My brother and his wife and kids drove down from Pennsylvania, so we had the two families together, and outside of Gatlinburg. We came back to the cabin one day after our adventures, and we went inside. My husband was outside still, because he was getting the Yeti out of the car. Now picture this house. It's a two-story cabin overlooking Gatlinburg, porch that wraps around, jacuzzi on the back porch. There's only one way into the porch, and there's a gate, right? So, my husband was still outside. He came around the corner, and he noticed something out of the ordinary. 3 cubs just walking by him. He's thinking, I know Mama Bear's behind them. And there she was. She followed right after. He was like this. So he backed around the porch, climbed up as best he could to get onto the porch to come in through the back of the house. And there it was, Mama Bear. I don't know if we can see this. In our trash. This is right outside the window. Look at her paws. Her paws are huge. And I decided, you know, she's busy getting food for the young. Took many pictures through the window, but she was that busy that I figured I could just sneak outside real quick around the door and get a picture of her.
Oh, wow.
Super cool. I was so close to her, it looked like she took a selfie. So now my kiddos are in 8th grade, last year of middle school. And they love adventures. So what will the next adventure be with my family this year? I will hit 5 decades at the end of the year. Any ideas what we should do?
Not get eaten by a bear.
Finish before you're ready.